In the game of Dice Masters, the rules are interpreted by two separate yet equally important groups: the players, who attempt to exploit the text on the cards, and Wizkids, who rule on the official intent of the card abilities. These are their stories.
Thanks to an anonymous tip, in today's case we're taking a look at Drax the Pacifist, the rare card from the Infinity Gauntlet Dice Masters set. Drax has been a staple control piece since his release in 2020. He reads, when fielded, choose an opposing card, cancelling all previous choices. Your opponent may not purchase or field that character until Drax leaves the field zone. So the way Drax works is you get him into the field zone early and prevent your opponent from bringing one of the key pieces of their team into the game. You name one of the opposing cards, and that character cannot be fielded while Drax is in the field. He's a very effective character in what he does. His decent stats make him harder to KO, so he should be sticking around fairly easily. We all know how he works, but how do you stop him? Your opponent just needs to remove Drax from the field zone, so let's take a look at a couple ways to do this. The first option is to KO Drax with combat damage. Pretty simple. As long as you have the stats to do so, this might be the most uncomplicated way to remove Drax. Next is to KO Drax with ability damage. Super Rare Robin from the recent Superman Kryptonite Crisis set is a recent example of this. Deal enough damage to Drax so that he's KO'd, ideally during your main step, so that you're immediately able to purchase or field whatever he was targeting. The third way is to use something simple like a Force Attack Global. There are lots of choices here in Modern. Pick your favorite poison. For example, Slingers, the basic action here, has a Force Attack Global for a mask. You force Drax to attack, let him go through unblocked, and Drax attack stats are not very high, so taking the damage is not that bad. Spinning to energy is a fourth way to deal with Drax. Rare Spider-Man, Super Rare Mystique, choose your tool of choice. These flat out take Drax from the field zone and turn him into energy that has to now cycle back through the used pile and the bag. Even though Drax is an effective control piece, there are ways to get around him. In all of these examples, your opponent has to cycle back to Drax in order to have him perform his ability again. Let's look a little closer at the exact wording of Drax though and consider some of the other options. When fielded, choose an opposing card, cancelling all previous choices. Your opponent may not purchase or field that character until Drax leaves the field zone. So, what happens if Drax is intimidated? First, Drax is fielded and names a character, preventing you from purchasing or fielding a character die. 2. You field your Intimidate character, such as Tombstone, to remove Drax from the field zone temporarily. You are now able to purchase or field the named character die for the turn. 3. Drax returns to the field zone at the end of the turn. Of note here is that there is no text on Drax's card that says that he retains his ability after being removed from the field zone. If this is correct, simply intimidating Drax out of the field zone turns off his ability permanently, even when he returns at the end of the turn. In order for your opponent to reactivate Drax, they now need to remove him from the field zone and refield him. Let's compare Drax to some of his predecessors to see why the wording matters. Rare Blob, Appetite for Destruction from the X-Men First Class set, has a very similar wording reading, when fielded, choose an opposing card, cancelling all previous choices. Your opponent may not purchase or field that card's dice until Blob leaves the field zone. It looks like Blob works exactly the same as Drax, with the exception of not being limited to character dice. In theory, the whole Intimidate ability should permanently shut down Blob's ability too, until he's refielded. Have we been playing these characters wrong all this time? How do they compare to the original cards that had the same type of ability? The Joker and Lex Luthor from Justice League, as well as Loki from AVX, all did something similar. They either prevented the fielding or purchasing of characters, not both like Blob or Drax. Let's look at Lex as an example. Lex reads, when fielded, choose an opponent's character card, cancelling all previous choices. Your opponent cannot purchase that die while Lex Luthor is active. Notice the key difference between Lex and Drax. Your opponent cannot purchase that die while Lex is active, versus your opponent may not purchase or field that character until Drax leaves the field zone. If Lex is intimidated, he comes back and he retains his ability because he has the ability while active. Drax is missing that key text. The Joker and Loki are worded exactly the same as Lex Luthor and would have the same retention of the abilities. So, I present this question to you, the players. Have we played Drax and Blob incorrectly all this time? Does Intimidate permanently shut off their abilities? Let us know what you think in the comments below. No matter what we think, this is definitely something that needs to be ruled by the official rules lawyers at Wizkids. I encourage everyone to post this question to the rules forum, as it definitely has some implications for the 2022 modern meta. Do you have a card or interaction that deserves to be brought up in the court of player opinion? Let us know in the comments below or contact us through all the usual channels. As always, thanks for watching.